My name is Melissa, and I am an ESL teacher. I'm part of a group called Grow ESL in Northeast Philadelphia. And this is my second year teaching English. I started out last year teaching level 4. This year I'm teaching level 5, the most advanced students that we have. And what I love the most about teaching English is really the relationships that I get to build with my students. I love to see the success that they have in gaining and acquiring English language skills, but I also thoroughly enjoy getting to know my students and their families and just participating in life with them, helping them with their struggles and their joys as they settle into life in America. I'm not a teacher by training, although I did home educate my children, who are now 24, 22, and 19. But I did not have any official teacher training, although before I started teaching ESL, I did go to a 2-day training class, but never taught officially in a school capacity. I enjoy working with the upper level students because, again, I feel like there's more opportunity for relationship because the language level is higher and we can have more dialogue, and it's really more conversation than simply instruction.
Any advices?
My advice would be to speak English as often as you can, to branch out, and I know that it's probably common for immigrants to visit with and to hang out with people that speak your language. And my recommendation would be, even with people that share a language with you, to try to encourage each other to speak English and to not revert to your mother tongue because it's easier. To try to make friends with people from the United States, and that gives you more opportunity to practice. I think certainly watching television, videos, movies, reading books in English, just really trying to immerse yourself in the language whenever you can and not taking the opportunity to do it in your own language. To not be afraid, to be more confident that you probably speak English better than you realize, and to not be afraid to actually try, because people are going to be more gracious than you think. People will try to help you build your vocabulary, ask for clarification, help with pronunciation. So don't be afraid, just be bold. Be courageous and take a risk to try, because without taking a risk, you're not going to learn. You might make mistakes, but you will learn from your mistakes and improve your language skills.
Yeah, I heard that people really they're scared to start to talk.
Yes.
It's like, oh, what if I make a mistake?
Yes.
They gonna laugh on me or something.
Yeah, and I don't think you need to be afraid. And as I said, I think people are more capable than they believe about themselves, and so that's part of my role, is to encourage my students to be bold and not be afraid and to be able to communicate. And yeah.
What about what you say to watch TV in English, but like main objection I heard is why I have to listen or have TV on, but if I don't understand no words they saying, so how can it help by you?
I think, again, it's just part of the immersion process that you're hearing it. So you're getting used to hearing the pronunciation, which might not be pronunciation that you're familiar with. Our letters might not be pronounced the same way. Inflection, the way our voice goes up and down when we talk, when we ask questions. There's not a lot of different languages have different sounds. And so I think that's important you just hear it so it sort of absorbs into your head without actually speaking it. So your intonation, just the way your voice goes, I think that's really important too. And you can learn that just by listening to the radio, listening to podcasts, and choose something that is an area of interest for you, because you might pick up words that are familiar. A lot of words have similar sounds in other languages, so you can gain more than you really probably realize.
And the channel's name is American Accents. Tell us about your accents, where you're from.
Okay. I like to think that I don't have an accent. Many people are proud of their accents, that if they're from the South or maybe from Boston or New York, those are very distinct accents. I grew up in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and I live about 45 minutes northeast of Philadelphia. I do not have a Philadelphia accent. That's another very, people would say it's a dirty accent, actually. Just the way the words are pronounced, and I can't even approximate it. I'm not good at that. But yeah, I would say that I really have a pretty neutral American accent. But I do think that it's doesn't matter where you're learning English. If you learn English with a Southern accent or you learn English with a New York accent, it doesn't matter because our accents are easily understandable across the country, that I don't think it'll make a difference.
You're the second person already, even maybe third person who said about specific Philadelphian accent. Now I have to find a person who speaks Philadelphian
That's
accent.
right.
We have to have that person on our channel.
Yeah. So I think there's words like bagel, which is a pastry like made of dough, that they say bagel and not bagel. They say water instead of water to drink. It's more like a water. Those are the only two words that I can think of. Oh, and then the Philadelphia Eagles, which is the famous American football team here, they say Eagles.
Eagles?
Not eagles.
Like eggs.
Yeah, like eggs.
Okay. So, thank you for your interview.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for asking me to share.